Hey everybody, welcome to my sewing room. Today I want to show off my Diamond Pathways quilt. I'm helping out Jennifer of Inquiring Quilter. She's showing off her newest fabric line called Flower Pots from Island Batik. She sent me some of the yardage of her collection, and Island Batik sent me some of the backgrounds to go with it, and I'm going to show you today how I made this. I made it with a paper piecing pattern, and there's a free pattern in the description below if you want to make one for yourself. But don't worry for those of you who don't enjoy paper piecing, because I'm going to show you how I took that paper piecer pattern and cut it out into templates and was able to make this without sewing on any lines. So let's get started. You're going to need about 2 yards of black, 2 1/8 yards of a light or a white. I'm splitting this up. I'm going to use 1 1/3 yard of Island Batik rice and 7/8 yards of Island Batik almond. You'll need 1/2 yard for the binding and some 2-inch strips. You can use the strip set, but you'll have to trim off 1/2 inch. Last thing you need is a pattern. It's a free pattern. Just check in the description below and there'll be a link. I'm going to use a pattern as a template, but you can also paper piece it if you want. I'm going to sew these strips into sets of 4 and use this as a template to cut them out. So I have my strips trimmed up to 2 inches and I have them grouped in sets of 4. So now I'm going to take them to the sew machine and sew strip sets. So this is the main pattern piece here. You can paper piece it if you want, and then you'll need to print out 56 copies of that. Well, I didn't want to do that. I wanted to sew with strip sets. So what I decided to do was create templates from this pattern. I used my ruler and lined it up with the stitch line. I got my 1/4 inch seam for each template. So I have the strip and I'll line it up here. And then when I get the light fabrics, I have that. This one is a mirror image, so I only cut one. This is for the black mirror image. I only cut one of those as well. And once I sew the white pieces on, I'll use this one as a template to trim up before I add my black pieces. So I staggered each strip about 1 inch in. So when I line up my template, I don't waste as much. And I did trim the top off 1/4 inch so it would match up with my strip here. And each of these finishes at 1 1/2. That's why I cut my strips at 2 inches. And I'm lining my ruler up with this line, the 1/4 inch line. And I won't have to worry about shrinking up my template. Now with this, I'll have reversed triangles. So this now becomes the top. Kitty cat. Come on, I gotta here, scooch over. Every now and then I like to clean up this line, make sure I'm staying straight. Kitty, why are you taking a bath right there? My template keeps sliding, so I'm going to use some of this leftover washi tape I have. That should help. Now I'm going to put them in piles, so we disperse them evenly on the design wall when they're in piles. Okay, I have this in, I folded it in half. So I'll be cutting 4 layers at once. I'm going to use this as my template. And this is the side it's going to go against my triangles. I'm going to cut this bigger than it needs to be. Maybe I'll cut it this way. I need 32 pairs. And I'm not sure how many I'll get from one row. So I'm going to cut and see how many I can get first. Again, I'm going to cut it bigger than what it calls for. Because whenever I try to sew angles, they always come out too short in one area or I cut off an area. So if I go bigger, I can cut down. I'm doing about 1/8 more than the seam allowance. So here's the pattern. Here's the piece I'm cutting. I need a mirror image. Since I've put 2, actually I have 4 together. 1, 2, 3, 4. But if this was something that had a print on it, perfect way to cut mirror images. This is scrap. Since I have two lengths of the fabric together, I have 2 pairs. I'm going to keep them together for now so I can count easier. I need 32 of these, and I should be able to flip-flop this pretty easily. 14 pairs from 2 strips. So 1 strip will give me 7 pairs, and I need 32 pairs. So that's a total of 5 strips. So I'm going to just do 1 layer this time. How big are these? Didn't even measure. Almost 7 inches. Alright, so you need 5 strips that are 7 inches wide. Let me go get my other color. Okay, this print is called Almond. I only need 24 of this color. I am going to sew these separate. I'll get in a groove and I'll start mixing colors. And I don't want to do that. I want all my rice ones on one and all my almond ones on the other. So to the sewing machine. I'm going to start with a sample block just so I know where to line up my points at. Don't want to screw up all of them. So far so good. That hangs over just a little, but that's okay. That's why I made them big. So I'm letting it hang over just a tad. I'm just eyeballing it. I'm not gonna get the ruler out every time. I forgot to cut out the top pieces. Let me go cut out some of those real quick. Okay, I'm back, and then I'll sew this on. So now I'm going to compare it. It's big enough. We're good. Everything fits. I'll be able to trim all these down to fit that. So let's start the chain piecing. Okay, I got the other side sewed on. I'm going to iron it, but before I do that, there's a couple. I have these little dog sticking out. I'm going to trim those. So this space here is way longer than I need it to be. And if I just start sewing the top on, it'll be a bigger gap than I want. So I'm going to trim those up. Okay, while I'm trimming, I think I'll try to trim that up. I'm going to line it up with my piece there, with my triangles. So I'm trying to match these lines with these lines. Oh, my paper came off. This tape is horrible. I'm gonna put packing tape on the back. And I tap it just a little. Get some of the sticky off so it's not too sticky. Alright, lined up. That's not gonna be long enough. Let's try this one. Kitty, you have to move. Again, I'm lining up my 1/4 inch with the actual line, the sew line. Kitty, you cannot eat that. Give me that. How pretty. Let me go sew the tops on these. We'll keep on moving to the sewing machine. I got all the tops added and ironed. That took me about 20 minutes. Now I'm going to use a template I cut out to trim them all up and be ready to add the black sides. So I got all those trimmed up. Now I'm going to work on these sets with the different shade, and then we'll add the black to both. To the sewing machine. That set is done. Just need to add the black for both sets. There's 32 in this pile and 24 in this pile. These are going to make my odd rows, and these are going to make my even rows. So let's cut out some black for my edges here. Again, I have folded my yardage in half, so I'll be cutting through 4 layers. It's quicker this way, especially when you cut a lot of strips. So this is my black piece. I need 56 pairs. I'm cutting it about 1/8 bigger all the way around. Now this is black. You really don't need mirror images, but it cuts them in pairs already, so I'm just going to count them in pairs. This is actually a batik. Island Batik sells solids in their batiks, and it's nice. It matches the same type of material if you're sewing with batiks. If you have cats and they come in the quilt room, you'll definitely invest in a lot of lint rollers. while I'm cutting black, might as well cut out the inner border. Okay, the border is going to be 2 inches, and I'm going to need 7 2.5-inch strips. Again, I'm cutting 2 at a time, and I'll open it. Get just 1. Put those aside. Take all these to the sewing machine. It took me 1 hour and 38 minutes to sew and press all the black side. It took me 30 minutes to trim them all up. Next up was putting everything on the design wall. The only rule was to not have the same print touch each other when I was making the diamonds. It took me a little under 9 minutes to pin and sew and press each row. I wanted to pin them because this is where the points start lining up. It takes a little longer to pin everything, but it looks really nice when you do. It took me about 31 minutes to add the border, and that gave me a finished top. I'm auditioning fabric for the back. I need it to go at least the length of the top, and then I'll cut it in half and fill it in with other strips. This is all I have left of this center print, but it's still not wide enough, so I need some stripes to go here and here. I'll see what I can find in my stash and cut some 3-inch strips. Alright, I got some more strips put in there. So that will be the backing. Found a nice teal. Goes great with the yellow. And pulls out the teal in this print here. I just gotta sew all those together and it'll be good to go. Let's get that pieced. I've had this variegated thread for a little bit. It matches perfect with the colors in the quilt, so I'm gonna give it a try. It's a little bit thicker, so I'll need a top stitch needle. See how it goes. Well, it didn't go as planned. The thread kept breaking, even though I had a top stitch needle and used the correct bit of thread in the bobbin. The only thing that would make it work was if I put the tension really low, but that messed up the back, which I didn't like. I'm not sure why I had so much trouble, because I've used this type of thread before in another quilt and it turned out great. I didn't have any problems. But this time it was taking me forever. What should have taken me 30 minutes to quilt took me almost 2 hours. So I made an executive decision to change the thread after I was about 3 rows in. So part of the quilt will have the nice pretty variegated thread, and the rest will have a nice light yellow lighter weight thread. It went pretty smooth after that. The thread didn't break at all, and this quilt's for me, so it doesn't really matter. It still looks good, and I'll be able to snuggle under it no problem. When you add in the quilting and the binding time, it comes to a total of about 14 hours to make the quilt from start to finish. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed, please hit subscribe.